This is the last step necessary to assemble the wheel with the embedded drive. Looking at the gears after the 8-hour break-in period, there is actually a very small location towards the front of the gear that's showing a little bit of highlight. That suggests that there is a very slight misalignment towards the front of the pinion and the other gear. It's not enough to cause a lot of drag, but in a system that would be meant to run months and months, you really would need to solve that. As I've said before, looking at lifetimes, less than an hour, probably minutes, I'm not going to worry about a little bit of rubbing there. The wiring has been tucked up, bolted in here. The power connector runs through the axles here on this side and on this side. These silicone wires have had a very, very tough nylon shrink sleeving put over them. This is just absolutely bulletproof. The second thing that was installed is the 2.4 gigahertz Bluetooth module that will get tucked into the inner ring. And it's connected into the COM port here. I think at some point I'm going to need to make a cap for the top of the VESC that will 3D printed cap that I can use a few of these holes, these screw holes, to hold down, and that will prevent these wires from getting touched by the wheel. The wheel itself is, as I had shown before, it's an end cap machined, welded onto a tube, and the tire squeaks on with a lot of pressure, and then rivets are put in at regular intervals. These are very heavy-duty rivets that go through. This side has been drilled and tapped with 632 bolts. And 632 doesn't sound like much, but 32 of them will hold an enormous amount of load. Putting this together should be reasonably simple, you would hope. Just clear the wire. Slide the bushing over. There we go. There's a little step that has to mate up here, and I need to put one of the 632 screws, start it, there we go. Flip it 180. The steps are size on size. So imperfections means I'm going to have to apply a little bit of load to the aluminum to get it to sink down in. There we go. All right, not tight. Eventually, I'll put all 32 in. And this is the example of the type where you can put these screws in and torque them down to a reasonable tightness and not have to put Loctite Red on them, because the penalty for one of these screws coming loose and coming out, it's really not very high. You're going to get a screw, it's going to work its way out, and then it's going to fall out. And with 32 screws around here, it's not going to make any difference. All right, so to put it all together, we would end up putting these pieces on. One on the front, one on the back, and that is a complete tire system. Ready to go?